Episode 9 is set to be a film that'll shock the audience by including tons of twists and turns that'll change our view on both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens by writer and director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are truly looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how J.J. is going to wrap up everything and how he will present this film as far as the cinematography goes and the dialogue and how everything is just going to be made into this movie, into, of course, the final act of the sequel trilogy itself. It's going to be the final film of the sequel trilogy. It's a huge deal for Disney and Lucasfilm in order to get this done correctly. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. Now, these past couple of days or so, you guys may have heard about some of the leaked reactions for Episode 9 by some of the cast and crew, and even what, of course, John Boyega had to say on Instagram just yesterday about the movie. Now, additionally, some of which go on to say that it's described that the footage shot so far, that it has cinematic styles to it that of The Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, and is better than both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, combined even just in the form of raw footage. It's said that the dialogue in the film feels as classic as the dialogue in the original trilogy, and has far less humor than what was presented in The Last Jedi. The action sequences are described to be on the level of what fans saw in all of the Avengers movies and Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. There are a couple of scenes in the film that will make fans cry, even more than the death of Han Solo in The Force Awakens. The surprises in the film are on par with the revelations in the original trilogy, and fans should be excited to go see this film. So what's really interesting about all of this is that we are actually going to see sequences that are going to be on the level of what we saw in all of the Avengers movies. That's, of course, Avengers 1, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Avengers Infinity War so far. So if you guys go ahead and look at those films, they are filled with action, and that's actually going to be incorporated into Star Wars Episode 9. The thing that really does excite me is how this dialogue, the dialogue in Episode 9 is going to be pretty much on the same exact level of the dialogue in the original trilogy, and the reason behind all of this is because J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, and crew are letting the whole entire cast actually improvise their lines and dialogue in this film, and doing what they want to do in the movie for certain scenes, either in the first, second, or third acts of Episode 9. Now, whether or not this is a good or a bad idea, I don't know about you guys, but them improvising, I think, is a good idea for some of the major characters, like, let's say, for example, Kylo Ren, Rey, Luke, Leia, and Lando. But for the other characters, I'm a little on edge about some of the actors and or actresses performing their own pieces of dialogue and coming up with their own ideas, and putting that into Episode 9, such as Oscar Isaac, or John Boyega, or even Kelly Marie Tran. I feel like that it should only remain for the main characters and the actual characters that are pretty much the front of Episode 9. So the other thing that I really do want to go over is how there are going to be a lot of elements of Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings inserted into this movie as far as action level goes, especially from the Two Towers. So this definitely lines up with what we saw about the big castle set that was leaked a couple of weeks ago, and over the summer of 2018 we saw the leaked photographs of the horses and Finn and Poe riding those horses towards a large structure. And you can really see all the medieval elements coming into play here in Episode 9. So far, everything is sounding very good, and how it's supposedly better than that of both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens combined is pretty high praise, I gotta say, guys. I don't know if it's really going to outperform those two movies. We'll have to wait and see. Together, of course, I think that, yes, it'll be better than The Last Jedi, but better than both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens combined? I don't know if that's reaching it or not, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that J.J. Abrams is very ambitious with what he's doing with this film. He knows the stakes, he knows the risks, and he most definitely knows what's going on in the Star Wars community. And I think it's definitely as to why he's doing a lot of script rewrites and adjustments right now. Now, the last thing that I do want to go over that really caught my eye, that really is making me very emotional, is how this movie is going to make fans cry a couple of times in the movie, crying even more than the death of Han Solo. Now, for me personally, I didn't get too emotionally impacted when I saw the death of Han Solo, but when I was in the theater, I heard some people, you know, kind of crying there and kind of getting very upset. So the fact that this movie is going to have quite a number of sequences that's actually going to make a numerous amount of fans cry in this film more than what they did with the Han Solo death scene. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like that we may very well be getting a death scene of either Rey or Kylo Ren, or something to do with Luke Skywalker and Leia on screen together, as we have gotten those hints before just today, actually. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.